figure out what's coming next in this stage of your life. We still have all those doubts and fears creep in. I heard what he said, but I felt that I need to be working, I need to be making money, I have dreams too, but I can't do that.
Right.
Finally realized, nah, something has to change.
Welcome to We're Not Dead Yet, Women Rocking Their Next Chapter. I'm here with Amy Rees of Personality Plates.
No, that's all right.
Oh, hello. And our friend Cleo is here as well.
She wanted to be introduced.
Hello, Cleo. Hi.
All right.
Tell me your background.
Yeah, after I graduated college,
You studied what?
I studied communications
Okay.
at Ithaca College.
Same. Well, or journalism, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, journalist, news production, all that good stuff. And after I graduated, so back in 1988, when I graduated college,
Same.
so I got in my car, and I didn't really know anybody down here, but I got hired at CNN.
You were living in?
I was living in
New York.
a small town outside of Syracuse, New York. It's called Fayetteville, Manlius.
Gotcha. So you wandered down south?
Yeah, I got in a little super wagon, drove down to Atlanta, got an apartment by myself, and then, kind of went through roommates, made so many friends. I always say CNN back in the 80s and 90s was almost like grad school. So I loved CNN. I mean, it was great. I made friends. I'm still friends with those people today. And one of the women I met back when I was 21, 22 is like family to me now.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and she's one of my big supporters. She's been through, obviously, all of it with me.
You say they've been through it all with you. You have a history.
I have some history. So, while at CNN, I realized, being in the newsroom is not all glitz and glamour. Every time you get a promotion, you start at the overnight shift. And then if you're lucky, you get the 5 a.m. shift.
How fun.
So then you get to get up at 2 a.m.
What a reward.
Yes. I just couldn't do it anymore at it. So I decided I'm going to try my hand at PR, sales, communications. Leave CNN when I get married. Husband number one.
Husband number one.
And I started kind of dabbling in sales. So everything's running very parallel. I'm going through husbands, going through job changes, but doing a variety of things. I have been through selling office supplies and furniture.
Fun.
I have sold premium products, promo stuff. I have sold stocks and bonds. I got licensed in Series 7s. Yep. I have sold software and done training for software. Let's go back to husband number one.
Nobody means for it to happen.
Nobody means for it to happen. Lots of heartache. Had husband number two, did the financial stuff, and then I stayed home with kids. And I had my daughters with husband number two.
Two daughters.
Two daughters. Cycle back. Husband number one is when I started doing pottery. I was doing kind of crappy sales jobs. I was not really feeling like me. And really kind of crappy sales jobs. It wasn't anything I was taking pride in at the end of the day.
And the marriage was struggling.
And the marriage was struggling. So I was an unhappy camper, and I was only in my mid-20s. So my friend, Sari Allefeld, who I had met through that first husband, was doing pottery at Abernathy Art Center. And she insisted I come try an art class, pottery class with her. And I loved it. Yeah. I mean, I loved it. It's hand, right? I'm working with my hands, I'm touching clay. And it's a great way to get out frustrations and anger and sadness, because I don't know if have you ever taken a pottery class? Well, the very first thing you do
is pound the clay, right?
You are given a chunk of clay and you throw it down as hard as you can over and over.
So it's called throwing pottery.
Throwing pottery. Yeah. And you throw the crap out of that clay. And then you get to pound it
Yeah.
with your hand,
Yeah.
with your fist, with all the frustration and tension. It all came out of me. And then the creative side starts to come out. Then I start making plates like this lovely lady off to my side. And I'm making these women, and then I'm naming them. And I'm coming home and I'm writing a story on the computer, because as I'm making these women, I'm painting their hair and I'm looking at them and I'm looking into their eyes that I'm making.
And you're like channeling.
I'm channeling them and I'm thinking, oh, Celia, have you got a story to tell?
Oh, that's so fun.
So, then Celia has a story. And the story. So, for example, we have Ruby here. Since the moment she was born, Ruby's parents dreamed of the day their daughter would go to medical school. When she turned 3, they bought her a toy doctor's kit. She preferred her mother's makeup bag. On her 8th birthday, Ruby used her brand new science kit to create lip gloss. When she was 13, her mother caught her charging the neighborhood girls for a makeover. At this point, Ruby's parents finally accepted the fact that their precious daughter would not become a doctor. Or would she? After all, there is cosmetic surgery. That became my life's passion through the second husband, but this was the one piece that was me. It was outside my house. It was outside my kids. It was away from my husband. These girls were me.
So how did you get the idea to turn your ladies into a business?
Well, every time my friends came over, they were always very excited, and I was selling the large ones as commission. So somebody would say, can you make one for me?
Sure.
Or I was selling them in stores. Then you say, right, like how do you monetize this? How do you make money selling art? And really it just became
handmade items.
Yeah. So my first step was to making them smaller.
Okay.
And less fragile, and right? So these small ladies came to be the appetizer dessert size plates, because that way they're easier to handle. I thought probably more usable, more functional. You can eat off them that way. So they still, if you feel them, they still have the texture in the hair.
Right.
And their nose does come out, so you can see the image of the nose. But at the same time, it's still relatively flat that you can serve on them. So I started doing that, and I thought, I can sell them in sets of 4. I came up with all these great marketing ideas. How do you sell sets of 4? I could name the set of 4 plates.
Okay.
So
This collection is Sisters.
Sisters, the first edition.
Aww.
Yes. And sisters as in sisters and friends, right? Because we're all sisters.
Right. I like how in your card that you include, maybe the only sisters you have are the ones you've chosen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm an only child.
Yeah.
So, some people at first were like, but what if you don't have sisters? I said,
everybody's got sisters.
Everybody's got sisters too.
And if you don't, we got to work on that.
But it's true,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Because
true.
you just need to find the women in your life that are your family.
Yeah, and that support you.
And that support you, and they become yours. So I loved the idea, and I was really excited about it, and then my marriage started crumbling. So my energy was redirected trying to save a marriage. Marriage counseling, my own therapy. I have young kids, making sure they're okay. There was a lot going on in my life, and all of this had to just be put aside. So then, I focused on my kids.
Yeah.
I focused on what then became a divorce.
Right.
So
then supporting your kids.
Then moving into a new home and being a single mom, having to support my kids. So for, 7, 8, 9, 10 more years, I really had to focus on my family, on my kids and the household and the responsibility involved.
Yeah. But then Jim came into your life.
Jim came into my life. We'll just refer to him as husband number 3 for this story. He's living in New York. I'm living here. I'm still kind of physically on my own here.
Sure.
Kids are growing. So then I've got kids going off to college. My husband moves to Atlanta. 2 incomes, 1 household for the first time in a long time, which does take a little pressure off of me.
Yeah.
Then COVID. So COVID hits, he's without a job, And I'm selling movie theater advertising. And
For all those movies we had in COVID.
Yeah, so very hard to sell movie theater advertising at movie theaters when the movie theaters are closed.
It is. I can imagine.
So what was I going to do? And I start wasting more time trying to dive into different sales opportunities and different sales jobs. And
Right.
my husband, luckily, got a job during COVID. So he says to me, hey, you've been working really hard. You covered me while I was out. I've got the job, I've got the insurance, I'll sign you on to my insurance. Go ahead, figure out what's coming next in this stage of your life.
How amazing. Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. As I found, and I think a lot of other women were going through this, we still have all those doubts and fears creep in.
Absolutely.
So I heard what he said, but I felt that I need to be working, I need to be making money, I
Right.
have dreams too, but I can't do that.
Right.
Finally realized, something has to change. I am, at the time, I was 54?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I have this whole life ahead of me. What do I want to do with it? And of course, what came back? Ding, 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 ding. My plates, which had been sitting in boxes in my sunroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I take them out and I'm thinking, this is maybe the time to start thinking about this again, right? My husband comes home one day and he says, your plates, I think you had mentioned once wanting to mass produce them, right? He says, our neighbor, that's what she does, right? Sourcing. And I said, I did know that, but I just
Didn't put the two together.
I didn't put the two together. And I started pulling out my plates. I told her my thoughts, my dreams, my plans for the set of 4 and the sisters. And next thing I know, I've got a spreadsheet in front of me telling me my costs. She's shipping off the samples and I'm like, I think I just did it. Yeah, so the next thing I knew, I'm waiting and these are the samples. So they had taken my plates and it's an imprint. So this is actually the plate I made just as a form.
Sure.
So, and they use stoneware and a glaze that's food safe.
Nice.
So now they are food safe, they are dishwasher safe, they are microwave safe.
Perfect.
And stoneware is the most durable of all pottery. And at the factory, they are hand painting each plate. So they are still, getting a set, is still getting a set of hand painted.
Hand painted.
It's just, I have outsourced it to monetize it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I'm pretty excited.
You're not done. You're not dead yet.
I am not
You
dead
have
yet.
even grander plans.
We're gonna change up the variety, they'll have different stories, and then another set will be my Mahjong mavens. For all those women out there playing Mahjong still.
My mother will need a set.
They are gonna be limited series there. 3 to 5 year plan will be to have several series for women of color.
Huh.
And I'd like to honor also different ethnicities. So I will have a series of different guest artists. And I'd love to have us also start doing proceeds going towards different nonprofits.
Wonderful. Giving back too. I love it. Wonderful. This is a lovely fall day.
Perfect, right?
This is wonderful.
It's not too hot, it's not really cold yet. I have a little something for you.
Oh, okay.
This is a little thank you for letting me be a guest on your show.
Please. You were my hero. My hero. Oh, I love it. I love it.
A wine tumbler for outside, and luckily
How handy.
I happen to have one for myself.
How handy.
So let's drink our first toast to Miss Lulu Chu.
Oh, yes, we will. We have a 20-something year-old young friend who decided her 2 mom friends needed to meet and collaborate, and we love our Lulu.
We love our Lulu. To Lulu.
To Lulu.
Well, that's good. That's good. Did we do a free advertising for them?
Yeah, why not? No, yeah, Polly from another episode turned me on to New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
That's
So
very
I
good.
was very surprised when you pulled it out of the refrigerator.
See, we're all linked
Good.
together.
We're all one.
linked together.
We're not dead yet community.
And then we are. Jim and I actually, like we said, husband number 3, third time's the charm for me. We grew up together. We met in 3rd grade. Always known Jim my whole life. We actually went to college a year together because I went to Colgate University for 1 year, which is where he went. And then I transferred out and never saw him again. But because of us going to college together for a year, we were in the same college directory. That high school friend of mine would email me happy birthday.
Aw. I think little Jimmy Rees had a crush on you all along.
I wished him a happy birthday 1 year, and his response was, "Oh, yeah, things are going okay. By the way, I haven't told anybody yet, but my wife and I are getting a divorce." And I was like, "That's a weird coincidence. I'm going through a divorce myself, too." So we talked on the phone, and then we kind of became those comrades who were trying to raise daughters going through a divorce, moving to new homes.
Yeah.
We were both going through the same thing, and we'd known each other forever, so there was that comfort level. And before I knew it, we were flirting on our calls, on the phone till 3 a.m.
I love some charcuterie.
Oh, yes. And blatant sales pitch for my product.
Exactly.
These lovely ladies really go well with charcuterie.
Especially with a girlfriend. My new
Especially with the
girlfriend.
girlfriends, yes. And we are now friends for life, are we not?
We are.
We are. It was meant to be. Last minute, that's
And I
fun.
met you 36 hours ago.
You're right. You're right. That's
So
crazy.
God does indeed work in mysterious ways.
Yes, I didn't even think of it that way, but you're right. That last minute text this
You're
morning.
my kind of people.
How about now?
Right.
Does now work?
Does now work for you? What do you do now that, we are both 55? What do you what's your go-to? What do you do to take care of yourself? What do you do for self-care?
I would say that's hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm tired or I need to take a break or I'm feeling down or anything hormonal, it's call a friend. For me, that's what makes me happy is playing with my friends.
Aww.
So coffee dates, if you watch my social media, a lot of coffee dates, going out, going out to dinner with friends, out for a drink with friends. But really for me, it's spending time with friends, those friendships. They fill me up, they bring me energy. Yeah, that's what I love to do.
And you were telling me when we met yesterday about, well, we kind of fixed on our common interest in women supporting women, and women helping women.
It's important too, and I have been through phases in my life, and I have witnessed that it's not always the case. As much as you would love to think all women will support women,
Right.
It's not the case. So it's sometimes you really have to look around and put yourself in front of the right people and connect with the right people. Because I think it's really important for women to come together and help each other. And the more you do to help others, it'll come back to you.
It does.
You don't have to worry about yourself. If you really put yourself out there.